Today's video is of a walk starting at Mill Hill Golf Club and ending at Moat Mount Open Space. I'm currently on the A1, and if I look to the right, that is ultimately northbound going towards Stevenage and ultimately Scotland. And if I look to the left, although this part is heading westbound, it eventually turns left and goes southbound into central London. Anyway, to start, this is an entrance to Mill Hill Golf Club. So I walk up here. It's a private members golf club. And we walk through the grounds. The car park does look fairly quiet today, and this says about the car park rules. So continue up, and over there is the clubhouse. I'm not a golf player myself, but today would be quite a nice day for a round of golf. So we continue up, and over on the right we've got a hand car wash. They're quite popular all over London. Hi there. So continue through the grounds of the golf club. The actual course is on the other side of that main road. And now we come into some quiet residential roads at the back of Mill Hill. Not actually sure of the name of this road. It may be an extension of Hankins Lane. Some quiet residential houses, mind you, not quite so quiet. That is Cortland School there, and I'm sure when the children are going in or coming out, it is quite busy. Looks like some new or renovated houses there. Very quiet piece of road this, as the only traffic that will come up here are the people who live in the few houses or deliveries to the golf club. So the road on the right is Cortland Avenue, and this indeed was Hankins Lane. So we'll follow the road round to the left. And I'll just check the name of this road. And it shows us Bedford Road. So this is Bedford Road. Slight uphill at this point. And then I shall bear left here. Still part of Bedford Road. Nice quiet residential road. Wheelie bins are out. Passing Ramillies Road on the right hand side. So here we come to the end of the road as far as cars are concerned, and then there will be an entrance to a little used footpath which ultimately leads to Moat Mount Open Space. So looking over there look to be some football fields, which is part of looks like Mill Hill County High School. So we go through the kissing gates. Well, I don't need to move them, and it's a little bit muddy here, but this is Moat Mount Local Nature Reserve. So my experience of this walk is that it's very quiet. You don't often see any other people about, especially today. It is quite chilly. So that's obviously the back of the school. They're the school sports ground, football pitches, etc. We continue up, and they would be the houses that are, I'm guessing, in Hankins Lane, which is the road I entered just as I exited the golf club. So it's a little bit muddy, but certainly not too sloshy. Footpath is narrowing slightly. Sun's out, but it is quite chilly. Early this morning temperatures were below freezing, only fractionally, but they were below. So this is quite a well-trodden path. Narrows off slightly. Got fenced off area on our right hand side, and trees and woods. Although it is a fence, been pulled down a little bit, but there is a fence to the left also, but heavily wooded on both sides. So it looks as though it starts to go uphill now. Looking to the right, that's quite high banking there. This is fairly squashy. Lucky I got the Wellingtons on. Slosh, slosh. That's better. Back in firm ground. So it's still fenced off to the left, which would indicate that is private property on the left, and fenced to the right. Gently uphill now. A lot of trees down here. I see through there now. I know why it was fenced off. Not sure if you can detect that on the video, but it is part of Mill Hill Golf Course. That looks to be a putting green, because to the best of my knowledge the main part of the course is on the other side of that main road where we just started the video. Yeah, you can see the flags and it's fairly flat, so I'm guessing that's putting practice. So continue on, start to gently go uphill now. And suddenly on the right we've got quite a substantial fence now. Looks fairly new too. You can hear the distant roar of traffic. The main A1 is probably only about 200 yards in that direction. They go well on the fire, those logs. Wonder how many years they've been there. Ah, the footpath seems to divide here. Now, which one shall I take? I think I'll go off to the left. Make sure this overhanging tree is secure. Looks as though it's been there some considerable time. And slightly uphill now. Fairly muddy here. Quite slippery. Looks as though the footpath bends round to the right and then goes up quite steeply. It's fairly sloshy here too. Yes, this is quite muddy and slippery. Oh, that's a bit firmer now. That's better. It's quite steep uphill here. You can see by the shadow the sun suddenly put in an appearance. Now here to the left, that is Moat Mount Open Space picnic area, which is where I started the walk a few days ago. So I'm going to look round to the right, and I'm going to come off to the right here. Make this a bit more of a circuit, this route. Just follow where the path appears to go naturally. Duck under this tree. Now, does it go off to the left, right? It's not obvious here. So, down this bit, and then up to the left, and I can see it snaking away to the left here. Steady climb. Got the sun off to the right now. Gently uphill. And in the distance I can see a fence. Now it's gradually climbing to the left. Sun's quite bright now on the right hand side, so this would suggest temporarily I'm heading south. Now it's going round to the left. Steady climb all the way. This is not a very steep hill, but it is quite long. Funny, there's lots of little holes there. Don't know whether the birds have been pecking at it to get what's ever under it, but yeah, I can see some footprints heading in this direction too. Continuous uphill slog, a lot of moss on that. Now it goes gently round to the right and then left. That's an interesting bit of tree debris. Seems to have fallen down and just is balanced on a few other branches should I say. Now it gently goes round to the left. You can see some houses or buildings through the trees there. I'm guessing that is possibly part of Mill Hill County High School. The footpath seems to divide here. I'm not sure what goes in that direction. We shall try it at some point. I'll go left and continue in my direction. So now the sun's completely behind me. Bit of relief, we're going downhill now. There's an old tree. Wonder how many years that has been down. What do they say about moss? Grows on the north side apparently, which that's probably about right. The sun is behind me, which at this time of the afternoon is west, so that would make that sort of facing east north, so I don't get a lot of sun, although possibly a little bit in the morning. But anyway, let's continue on. Seems to climb up quite a steep hill again now. This looks the trodden path. Oh, we pick up a fence now. Looks like a good substantial fence. And now it levels off nicely. Quite peaceful, just the distant roar of traffic. I don't detect any wind, so I can't hear any branches or leaves rustling. can't even hear any birds. It is very, very silent at the moment. All that undergrowth there, wonder how much life that actually harbours. Foxes, rats, mice, moles, what else? Steady uphill. You can hear some banging. That's probably from that building there. There is that den which we investigated on a previous video. Certainly nicely done, but won't keep the rain out. Right, continue. Again, a steady uphill. Appreciate it's January and chilly, but haven't seen any sign of life, human life that is. And now it goes quite steeply downhill, so I shall have to watch my footing here. It's fairly muddy, but I don't think slippery. I can see what looks like fresh footprints. So quiet at this point, can hardly even hear the distant traffic. Lovely old trees. I wonder how many years they've been here. It's amazing when you look at it, all these leaves are living things that have died, go onto the ground, and nature takes care of them, produces its own mulch. It's incredible. A lot of moss on that tree. Not quite sure which north would be on that one. They say moss only grows on the north side of a tree, so on this one that's moss there, but there's nothing round this side. So going by that, the direction I'm looking now should be north. But hey, what do I know? I wasn't a Boy Scout. Mind you, I could get out my Android phone, couldn't I, and bring up Google Maps and find out where north is. I don't really have to look for moss on the side of a tree. But hey, it's fun. Yeah, look at that. Moss all seems to be on one. Oh no, this one's confusing me. That's making out that north is the other way. Oh well. Mind you, if you go by the sun, which over there, it's probably west, probably southwest, slightly southwest rather than due west. What's the old tree roots here? Little stream. Not sure if that's a river tributary or not. Seems to go under a little wee bridge. And here we come to the Leg-of-Mutton pond, which featured in a previous video I did, taking a similar walk in a different direction. So there's the pond. Over on the right are the grounds of the camping area. So on the previous video I circled this pond, but I'm just taking the pathway now that would have joined up with exactly the same walk, but without circling the pond. See the sun glinting on the water if I look through the trees. That's quite bright there. The water looks fairly still in the distance. Not sure how that will come out on video because it is very glary to my eyes. Right, we'll continue on. Still surprisingly quiet. I haven't heard any birds or anything. A few ducks. Not sure if that comes out in the video. They are quite dark and quite small on a dark water background, but they're there. There's one taking off or landing straight away. Right, we'll continue on down. So it hasn't been very, very muddy, but I'm glad I've got the Wellington boots on. This looks fairly dry here. That's interesting. Not sure if they're just branches or they've been stacked up against that tree trunk. Let's go through and have an investigate. No, it looks to be part of a tree that's fallen down and just been rested up. So, squeeze out of here and continue on down. Starting to hear the traffic of the A1 a little bit more now. This is an odd tree. It's obviously broken there at some point, but hasn't snapped. They're the roots. And it goes over, and it's almost as though it has planted itself again, but there's no roots there. If I lift it, no, it's just resting there. It's strange, very strange. Kind of broken, but not quite. It hasn't separated, and thing looks dead. But who knows? They may burst into life in 2 months, as soon as the spring comes. Not sure if that is two separate trees that have grown very close together, or one that the trunk has split. But yeah. Okay, continue. There's a holly bush or a holly tree. Certainly no sign of life on any of these trees at the moment. They're in their winter hibernation state, waiting to burst into life in a few weeks. Ah, I hear noise over there. There's life. Looks like children. Sounds like young children. They're over by the campsite, I think. Not sure where they've gone. Are they coming this way, or are they going in a different direction? Seem to be going in a different direction. That's an old house over there. Not sure what that is. A lot of tree debris here. And in front we can see the grass, which is Moat Mount Open Space, and it's the picnic area. Bit of standing water over there. I think that's just a bog. It's not a pond or anything, or at least I don't think it is. Very wet there as well, although that looks like a stream. Yeah, I can see it coming down there, just going around the back of the tree trunk and flowing then it seems to, which direction is it going? It's going to the right. Then oh, perhaps that is a pond of some description. Oh well, there we go. So basically here we reach the end of the walk. This comes out onto Moat Mount Open Space. See if I can get the mud off my boots now. Walk in the grass. That seems to be working. Yeah, that done quite nicely. And not sure if you can see it in the glare of the sun, but directly in front of us are the picnic tables. I'll get past the sun, then swing round so that you can see it. Nice neat litter bins. And then we got a warning of children and no fishing. And over there you can see the picnic tables. So this seems a convenient place to end the video.